National Institute of Health v. American Public Health Association was a case that we discussed earlier this week. This was an NIH funding case where a district court ruled that the funding had to stay in place to protect the research projects while the case is ongoing. And the key question here was about irreparable harm. Harm that can't be fixed later, which the court wants to avoid while we do all this courty stuff that can take a couple of years. And the district court judge said, if you cut off this funding, these studies are going to close. You can try to pay them back later if they win, but there won't be anyone left there to pay. In a 5-4 decision, the Supreme Court went the other way and said, we can pay them back later if they win. So for now, the government can stop paying and they'll have to make it up if they lose the case. The court made a second decision in this case as well, which also might have some ripple effects. When the Trump administration took over, they implemented these anti-woke and anti-DEI policies, and they came into the NIH and rewrote the priorities of the agency and the rules for who should get grants based on those priorities. And the district judge said, no. There's a process for that. You can't just do that. And so the district court basically just threw out all of those changes. And in another 5-4 decision, with Justice Barrett changing sides, the court agreed with the judge. The judge definitely had the power and the discretion to review and overturn those changes. But Justice Barrett was kind of on her own in this whole case, and she divided these two questions in her own way. She thought, questions over whether the NIH properly changed its internal policies according to the law, that is classic district court. Mwah! The judge was just in the right spot with that one. Questions about appropriations and federal contracts, those, she said, belong to the Court of Federal Claims, and that's where she divided here. This was all about jurisdiction. One issue was perfect where it was, the other was in the wrong court.